What we have today is a fashion performance on which I have been working with Dr. Francis Geeson, who is a textile artist and researcher. Francis works at the Royal College of Art, but we actually meant because we both work for the London College of Fashion and Central St Martin's. One of the things you see today is a room that is defined by the jewellery objects in it. The jewellery objects occupy the whole of that empty architectural space. They are on people, but it's the jewellery objects communicating between each other that define the identity of the space that you see there. This idea about the relationship between architectural space and jewellery is one that's been very important to me for about 10 years now, and it's crept in to become the centre of the work that I'm doing at the moment.
Cold? Very.
Sorry.
Alright.
I wanted to make the scale of jewellery much larger. See what happens when you really start to increase scale. And it became apparent that the most sensible thing to do was to increase the scale of the models. That's perfectly simple. Actually what it leads to is a social, political minefield, and it actually gets straight to the heart of what happens with models and the whole idea of what we regard as beautiful or attractive in our society. I think it's very clear if you come today how magnificent and fantastic the models look. What happens in fashion though is an orthodoxy that's driven by commercial concern, and that results in this total anxiety about using anybody who isn't a standard shape across all fashion designers, and I just think it's complete nonsense. Most of the materials I use are non-precious. Once you discover as a jeweller that you can escape from the tyranny of precious materials, from gold and diamonds, there's a great liberation that happens. You find all this space to do wonderful things. I mean, if you're going to work in a necklace that's 3.5 metres long by 1 metre wide, if you're working in gold, it won't happen. It simply won't happen. You can't take that sort of risk. But actually, if you're working in nylon sheet and you're putting thousands and thousands and thousands of cuts into that nylon sheet, you can create the most, extravagant object.